Okay, I gotta be real with you guys. I just tried to record a reading and that energy didn't want to be read. So I had to honor that. And so I want to continue my consistency with sharing every morning with you all because that just is what feels right now. So I'm really inviting in. Oh, and I heard like an invocation. You got to set intentions. That's why I kind of left the door a bit open and I found a thread and I was like, okay, we'll go with this. And it was just like every time I'd like take an inch, I was being pushed back. And I'm respecting that. And so a little invocation for this reading here that this reading will find people who are open and willing to receive a message for their highest good spirit, inviting that in and know that you have the choice to click on and click off a message. You can leave whenever you feel that desire to. Not all readings that show up for you are for you. That's where we get the opportunity to flex our intuitive muscle and feeling into our own inner knowing, right? These readings are not meant to fix or save anybody, but as gentle confirmation of what already lives within you. Okay. Welcome. I'm Izzy. I go by 8th House Mercury here. On my other account, I go by Astromia. It's tagged down below where I do evolutionary astrology. I have 3 natal chart readings left for the month of August and opening up September now. So if anybody is looking to get a natal chart reading, that is the #1 thing I offer. Okay. We're going to just start with the Astro Dice. For this collective that's open and willing, we have Uranus in, oh, it was on the 12th house and it just shifted. Okay, I'm just going to roll again. No, it was supposed to be the 12th house. I just had slippery fingers. Uranus in the 12th house in Scorpio. It's alive. I just was watching Once Upon a Time and it was just the ending of the episode with Frankenstein. And something interesting, I'm thinking of like reanimation too. But I also wanted to name that there's this deepening in understanding that magic is just science we don't understand, and science is magic that we understand. And I just really wanted to bring that into this conversational piece with Uranus in Scorpio in the 12th house. There's a lot of deep insights coming in, and I want to give you the clarity on what is moving, what is coming up for you. Because this, okay, let me deepen into this. The 12th house is the most hidden part of the natal chart. It's the subconscious mind. I'm seeing a lot of reprogramming of emotional patterns happening here. Deep emotional, like things that you've been holding on to, gripping onto, not knowing that you have been. It's almost like I'm seeing like carrying tension in the body, like not realizing that you're like hunched and like really coming back to, yeah, you didn't even know that this pain was there because you've lived with it your whole life. I wouldn't be surprised if you've been in the moment of this unlocking, because I feel like it's happening around 72 hours from this video. Like it either just happened. Um, Sorry, my neighbor just arrived. It's either just happened or is presently happening or is going to, like, very very close timeline of when you're seeing this message, where it's like you either just had a really intense emotional cry or something like opening up in you. And yeah, okay, wow. And it's like, wow, I didn't know I was carrying this pain or this story. And it feels very story related. When we look at Scorpio, it talks about the emotional substance that we are entangled in that we didn't necessarily agree to entering this life, right? Like a conscious choice of like signing a document. The 8th house deals with, and I'm saying the 8th house in scorpionic energy, it deals with like intimacy and depth of connection. And the first connection that we experience is that with our mother and our parent, right? Where it's like this really intermeshed, interwoven experience. And I feel like there's something about like something being illuminated there. Well, let's dive deeper in this illumination. Whoa. Okay. We have mortification. That's so funny about the reanimation. I heard like something's gotta die. why? What is this? This is a thread of grief of like maybe this emotional release that is occurring around this time is really inviting you into sitting with grief in the sense of like letting yourself feel the pain and letting yourself feel it all, allowing it to transform into something. We have the gold and we have antimony and we have fog. This is very interesting energy. I heard like it doesn't make sense. You keep trying to approach whatever this is with logic, and that can't happen. It's like interesting. I just got like really uncomfortable in my body, and now I'm like all itchy. Mm. Okay, we're gonna actually read into the mortification card. I don't think I've read this in a long time, at least since I got the deck. Thank you guys for hanging out, liking, commenting, subscribing. It supports me and everything that I'm creating here, and we are co-creating together in this field. So thank you. Okay, where are you? Mortification. You are Roman numeral. Okay. Further in. Sorry, hitting the mic. Here? No. Here? No. Interesting. Oh my gosh. It's like literally the one page. I'm like, what in the world? That's number 7? Is this in this one? Wow, I didn't know it was one of the greater ones. This is decay, death, decomposition. It's interesting about the reanimation piece. It's almost like you're trying to bring something back to life that has been long gone, that has been dead. I'm hearing, oh, I've been traveling on this road too long, just trying to find my way back home. The old me is dead and gone, dead and gone. And oh, dead and gone, Justin Timberlake and who else is that? I turn my head to the east, I don't see nobody by my side. I turn my head to the west, still nobody inside. So I turn my head to the north, swallow that pill and make a run. That old me's dead and gone, but I know I'll be alright. Okay, had to have a moment there. Mortification is the great alchemical operation of darkness. What was once composed now decomposes. What once was presentable is now despicable. The stage cannot be avoided. That's what I feel like has been happening is you're like trying to piece it back together. The underworld has taken us into the dark interior of its belly, and here we reside until spring. Through the natural process of decay, we descend into the depths we didn't know existed. The alchemist soon finds mortification, a stage of regeneration and sacred power, where the soil is fertile and rich, offering nourishment for tomorrow. This stage cannot be rushed. The darkness must have time to do its work, to dismantle and to loosen, to free us from old scripts and stories. As we learn to surrender to this great operation, the earth churns and wisdom whispers in the dark. She envelops us with grace and the promise of what's to come. Wow. Wow. And that like I feel like this has been like you're feeling that churning and you're feeling that whispering, and that whisper is saying that like it's like you can't see forward in the darkness. That's what this fog is really representing. But with the gold and antimony, it's like you know that like your time is soon. Again with this emotional lightning strike that's kind of coming in, that's like breaking you open. It's activating you is what this feels like. Okay. for the highest good of the collective here. Give me deeper insight into this ascent that is happening. Like, it really feels like it's right there. I heard like right under your nose. Oh, I've been traveling on this road too long. Just trying to find my way back home. We have the Lotus, stripping illusions. That's the whole purpose of this. Okay. Wow. What are these illusions? Can we support the collective here and like really and this feels like for affirmation for you, because I heard like what is really me and what is the other, because it seems like now I'm seeing like puppeteering, like a puppet show. It's like, have I just been performing as an extension of other things, other people? Okay. Five of Swords and King of Cups. Knight of Swords reversed. Yeah, there is, it's like emotional conflict and people not being forthright with their words. And I feel like you are somebody who is very honest to a fault, almost, where you're like, why would people be deceiving this? Your heart. You're somebody who is very emotionally sensitive, emotionally tender. And the whole the whole process of what's happening right now, where you're kind of like actually getting to see people in their true essence, and you're like, whoa, this is almost like yeah, we've got the Queen of Wands. I really see you reclaiming your power, and then we have the Queen of Swords right underneath that too. Like, you're really sitting back and you're going, um wait a second, wait a minute, wait a minute. Can you tell me about the illusions a little bit deeper here? Because this feels like I'm hearing, okay, hold up. I'm hearing Princess of China by Coldplay in my mind. Um, Once upon a time, somebody ran away, saying, fast I can, got to go. Once upon a time, we're burning bright, but all we ever seem to do is fight. Yeah, there's something, yeah, there's some, I mean, this, like, there's, it's almost like you're, the illusion, you've been like now I'm seeing like, you've been like a dartboard for people. Like, you've gotten the verbal lashings from people that you hold very close to you. And that's what's happening, where you're realizing this is not how I should have been treated. This is not at all. This is not at all a reflection of my worth, and me tolerating connections that hurt me. And like, that's where you're at the bottom. Like, you're there in the process of like, and I almost see you like looking back at your whole life, where you've tolerated not the best things, but your resilience in those and your care in those. And now on the other side of this is this reclamation of your gold, right? It's, you're turning this whole and that's the beauty about you, is like, you're looking at this and you also have this perspective of knowing like, yeah, it's not appropriate and I don't have to tolerate this anymore. And I also can see their entire storyline and how it led them to be this hurtful and this hateful. But I don't have to tolerate it anymore. I don't feel you like stewing in this. I feel you feeling your pain. And I heard like the longing to be met in the way that you've always met people, to be loved in the way that you've loved. Wow. So with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords representing you, like you're in this, like it's almost when people like, right, the kings represent the masculine expression. And so these queens here, it's like you're sitting in your masculine power. You're not actively wielding these wands, these swords, you're sitting in it, because the queens with the air archetype and the fire archetype, which are both masculine, it's the balance. It's the sitting in your feminine with that masculine, like, and I'm really noticing the like lions here, like the lion and the leopard. Or is this a jaguar? Yeah, where you're like you're just sitting in it. You're sitting in your power, and it's like people will try to come close to you, but in this process, and now I'm hearing like the whispers of the underworld, of the um repair and the nourishment that's been fed into you, where it's like I heard we were talking about this. I think I mentioned it in one of my readings, but we talked about this in book club, where it's like, oh yeah, like a empath's villain era is just saying no, right? Is like, no, thank you. Like, we're not doing that. And that's where it's like, it almost feel there's a part of you that I do feel that's like, oh my gosh, like I'm being a bitch. I'm being a bitch for saying no. No, you're not. You're not. I literally, my body language, I was like closing up. You are not. You are not, okay? You're allowed to have boundaries, okay? Now, as we support the collective on this upward swing, I'm literally seeing that happening. How can we support them? And just insights to integrate this. Oh, the moon, trusting your intuition, trusting that nature that you've cultivated within you. Once upon a time, a burning bright, but all we ever seem to do is fight. On and on. Trust the insight. Like there's insights coming in, and I want to know like what what are these insights? Can we get some keywords? We're gonna use this crystal deck here. Opportunity. Amazonite. Opportunity. Okay, opportunity is coming. It's on its way. We've got Kunzite Trust. Opportunity is coming. Opportunity's coming. And you know me. I'm like, I want to know, what is the opportunity? Can we inquire? I'm seeing like a castle door, like castle doors. Okay. We have the shaman. We have the empty room. We have the medallion, and we have the hunter. This, okay, literally, what is happening within you, this decay process, this mortification that you're moving through, this like deep churning is clearing everything out of your entire being. So let the tears come. I really want to encourage you guys to allow the feelings to move through. Um, allow them to move, because they're clearing the way for like true support. And with the shaman here, like again, you guys, you're smart. And when I say smart, what I mean is like you're not a stranger to this work. You're like, oh, I know that you're not resisting the process. Ultimately, you're not. There was a moment, I mean, let's name the moment, like you were trying to like go back and like try to maybe fix things with these people, but I feel like you've realized that there's nothing you can do or say to feel heard ultimately by these people. And this, what's happening is like you're creating space and room for more to come in, like your capacity to hold more, because with the empty room and then the medallion, like I'm seeing this as like a treasure trove, like you, and the hunter as well. And the seed, you you are the seed, you are planted. You've been planted. Like this whole process, it was to nurture an entirely new version of you. And now I'm getting this rich imagery that like all this like and I feel like it's psychic shit that's been kicked up. Like old like pieces and things like I feel like a lot of you haven't realized the amount of emotional um labor you've been doing for people for free. Absolutely not. Right? And like still having to do the cooking, the cleaning, and like all the other pieces, or and it's like, no, I just want to have peace. And again, this rich imagery is like I'm seeing you like curled up in the dirt and like seasons moving, and like eventually you get buried, like how a seed naturally would move, and you're getting buried, and then your most recent self is decomposing and becoming the fertilizer for the seed that is your heart, and then your heart is like the seed, and then it births you, and then you're being reborn. Hopefully that made sense. Once upon a time, we're burning bright. There's the underworld. Okay, this is relating to a reading I did the other day, just a confirmation if maybe you saw that one. The underworld, the desert, the comic, the ocean, the village, and the siren. Some of you, like a very specific message for some of you, maybe you saw that reading, is that a lot of this is family origins, that this is moving from. Um, yeah, family pieces. And now I'm hearing Family Portrait by Pink. Okay. It's the opportunity. Just this. Starborn, Apocalypsis, and the Thread. Complete reconfiguration that is leading you back onto your path. And then we have the Bardo and the Poet. The whole purpose of all of this was for you to create and cultivate more substance for you to share to the world, and your voice. Like I'm really hearing wow. And the sword at the bottom made me think of like the moment Entangled, where Flynn like cuts her hair and sets her free from this magic thing, but it's also the thing that allows her to have, and I just saw 2222, allows her to have herself back, right? Where she's no longer being used by other people. There's this moment of like you setting yourself free from these connections, right? The opportunity that comes from this is like a good fucking story to tell, right? Of something you've moved through, but also, I'm not gonna lie, there's some monetary gain that is coming in as well as like this hunter. This hunter feels like it's the opportunity. Like there's a lot of people that are observing you at this time too. A lot of, yeah. I feel like the message is getting a little diluted, so let's wrap it up with a few of these cards. Nine of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, collaboration, strength, and the Nine of Swords. You're going to be okay. And I feel like it's that Nine of Swords is that last like tether that is really and I feel like this Nine of Swords has been very coddled and created by the negative people around you. And I hate saying it's like people, but I do want to acknowledge that you did choose those people too. To a certain degree, there was something happening there, a symbiotic sort of relationship happening where there was something that you were getting from the relationships as well, and you've just outgrown them. And so this energy of the Nine of Swords, you've got to allow yourself to see what you've cultivated, finding community that does support you and collaborations that do support you. I do see like there is opportunity of collaboration with this hunter, the Three of Pentacles, and trusting. Okay. I don't know why it seems like there's still something. One last thing. Ancient wisdom. Confirmation for that start of the wrapping it back to the mortification and understanding the stripping of the illusions. And then we have forgiveness at the bottom. And I'm not gonna lie, forgiveness was on this deck at the start when I was grabbing cards for readings, and I was like, oh, a reading about forgiveness. I feel like forgiving yourself for the path that you did tread on to get to this point, understanding your role in it, forgiving the people I heard forgive them for they know not what they do. And, let's not excuse them completely because they might know. They might know what they're doing and they don't know different. And the fact that you're stepping out of this pattern with them and stripping back the illusions and allowing yourself to be all of you and to birth this new version of you, it's really setting this free. And the ancient wisdom that's coming in, I heard only you will be able to understand that because that's really linking back to the Uranus in Scorpio in the 12th house energy and this lightning energy. These epiphanies are dropping in. Epiphany is dropping in. Epiphany. Epiphany. Okay. I'd love to know what's landing for you guys. I love you so, so much. I would love to formally invite you guys into my eclipse portal. The eclipse portal happens between two eclipses. We have a solar eclipse happening on the 12th of August and then a lunar eclipse happening on the 27th of August. If you feel that desire to be held during that time, this is a rich time of doors opening and doors closing and like massive downloads. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these epiphanies pop in during that time. I will be hosting that container. There are limited spots. It's going to be hosted through my Patreon, which is linked down below, the inner circle. I would love to have you guys if you feel that call. All right. Until next time, I love you guys. Bye.